right. So excited about the opportunity to go live today. Let's make sure this is working. Okay, I think we're good. Don't you just love it? You love technology not working right. But hey, that's why we're here, right? First and foremost, thank you guys for joining this live, whether you're catching the replay or seeing it live in action. Feel free to drop something in the comments and let me know who you are. Let me know what you got going on. My name is Rob Brinson. I am the brand strategist. And what I do is I help people to not only figure out who they are and what their personal brand stands for, but to monetize it so that you can stop living a life that's not fulfilling in a way that lines up with your purpose and who you are supposed to be based off who God created you to be. That said, what do I want to talk about tonight? I want to talk about a couple of things, but the primary reason I got on here is to talk about 10 ways that you can build a brand that feels like you. Because the worst thing you can do is pour a lot of time, money, and energy into something that really just doesn't fit who you are. I've seen it happen over and over and over again over the last 20 years of being an entrepreneur and having a marketing agency. People get caught up into trends. They get caught up into trying to do what they think will get them more money. They're chasing the outcome instead of chasing the income. Like they think they're chasing income by saying they want money, but income is what starts within. Outcome is the result of the work that you do within, right? And so people have it backwards. They're chasing dollar signs, status, vanity metrics. They're trying to go viral, things of that nature, instead of truly focusing on the thing that is going to build them up and get them where they're trying to go. I could spend an hour talking about that, but I'm not going to do it. As I mentioned, if you're in here and you are watching live, drop something in the comments. Let me know that you're here. Happy to connect with you as we go down this list. So, here are the 10 ways that you can build a brand so that it feels like you. Well, before I get into number 10, just say this. No matter where you are, what room you're in, whether you are with family or in a executive office with a CEO having a conversation about business, you should be able to be yourself. But people are afraid to do that because A, they're either embarrassed about who they are and what they got going on, or B, they just don't like who they are, how they sound, how they look on camera, all of those things. So hopefully these top 10 things that I've come up with will help you to kind of get past some of those things. So without further ado, number 10. The first thing you have to do is get honest about who you are. Like you can lie with your words, but your energy will always tell the truth. This is the reason why when a salesman is coming up and he's trying to convince you to do something, you're like, I don't really feel like, I don't feel when you have that gut feeling, it's because something here is lying. You know that they're just trying to sell you. So before you can build a brand that feels like you, first you got to get real about who you are, right? Not the version you show at work, not the one you perform with in front of your friends and your family. The raw, unfiltered version is the one that you have to get in touch with. Now, does that mean you have to just be your true, authentic self with no filter everywhere you go? No, what that means is you need to work on that unfiltered version of yourself. Who you are behind closed doors matters just as much as who you are on Instagram. Okay. So if you're out of alignment privately, your brand will be out of alignment publicly. One thing about me, my friends and my family know that the person that I'm showing you today is who I am, right? And I'm not afraid to show any side of that because I've worked on it. I've done the digging behind the scenes. You know what I mean? So, number 9, moving on. You have to decide what you want to be known for. So many people have 1,000 skill sets and talents, right? Master of none, jack of all trades. That's great, but not for your brand. right? Who's your brand? Who are you? What do you do best? What do you want to be known for doing the best? I read a book today, well, a chapter in a book today that talked about attention and how when you have laser focused attention, there's nothing that can stop you from that thing. And it's going to fester and grow and get better the more you focus on it. It's the same thing with running a business or having a brand. If you're a plumber, electrician, a carpenter, and you own a lawn care service and you sing, you can't do all of that. I mean, you can, but you're not going to do all of that in a great or excellent manner. If you're good at everything, you're good at nothing. Okay, so if you're known for everything, you're known for nothing. Clarity wins. If you don't decide what you want to be known for, people will decide for you. And trust me, their version won't match your calling. Plant your flag, own your lane. I literally just got off a customer call telling somebody exactly that. We were talking about their target customer and they wanted to do a number of things. And I said, it's fine to test the waters. But once you get some data that tells you, what's driving customers towards you and what's making you money, you gotta plant your flag and get focused. Okay. All right, number 8, stop overthinking and dive in. I remember telling my dad I wanted to learn how to swim. I think I was probably 7. We had a family barbecue, and all of my cousins are swimming in the deep. I'm in the 3 feet, and I'm jealous. I'm envious of the joy that they have on their face as they risk their life in the deep end of the pool that I refuse to go in because I don't know how to swim. And I remember getting out of the pool, going to my dad and said, "Can you teach me how to swim?" And he said, "Oh, you want to learn how to swim?" I said, "Yeah." This man literally picked me up and threw me in the air. It felt like 10 minutes in the air. I'm just sitting there contemplating life like, I guess he doesn't love me. Why did he just do that? I'm really confused. Um, Come to find out, it was probably the best thing he could have done for me because when I hit that water, the only thing on my mind was I have to survive. I got to figure this out. And even though I don't know what I'm doing, what I'm not going to do today is die in this pool. So, obviously I started doggy pedaling and, trying to make things happen. And it worked out, right? I was able to get to the edge of the pool and, he was standing right there, watching the entire time, not, you know, leaving me hanging, so to speak. What am I saying all of this for? When it comes to what you're trying to do about your brand and figuring it out, you can overthink that thing to death. They talk about paralysis of analysis. You get so stuck in trying to think through how things are going to work out and what you're going to do that you can't even do the thing. Perfectionism is just fear wearing makeup. Period. Because you'll never be perfect at it anyway, so why try? Thinking doesn't build brands, action does. In our community, we were just talking today. Somebody said, yeah, I'm gonna try to do this. I said, don't try, do it. It's not about what you're finna do. It's about what you did. It's about what you're gonna do. Okay. Thinking doesn't build brands, action does. Stop waiting for the perfect time, the perfect plan, the perfect photo shoot. Stop waiting for help. Somebody else said, Rod, I love your setup. I need that setup. I said, no, you don't. You don't need this setup. You have what you need. You want this setup. You will find an excuse to stop doing the thing that you should be doing or every turn of the corner. Okay? You will figure it out faster by doing more than sitting still. Moving on, number 7, stop comparing and judging yourself. Stop scrolling their highlights and reels and like looking at their post and your timeline, ignoring your assignment the entire time. You know what it is you're supposed to be doing. So what are you waiting on? When you get into the comparison trap, it is the quickest way to get depressed about the thing that you should be doing. Instead of pushing the throttle and pressing the gas and getting down the road, you're too busy looking left and right, trying to figure out what she said and what he said. Caught up in the trap of gazing at who you think you should be by this point in your life will keep you trapped in that spot. Seriously. You can't build a brand while staring at someone else's. Their chapter 20 isn't your chapter 1. Your only competition is the version of you that stayed afraid to start. Get started. Number 6, be willing to share your scars, not just your success. People need to know the journey, right? They need to know where you came from. They need to know that you didn't have it all together, because that builds trust. That builds relationship. Now they can see you in a different light as you grow, as you get to the next level. There's a influencer that I'm following, and we recently made a connection. And I went down his page all the way to the beginning, and I was able to see the journey. I was like, wow, like, dude is really a human, and he came from nowhere. He didn't have this overnight success. It was success built overnight, 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 right? But the scars aren't your weakness. They're your brand's receipts. So think about it from that perspective. People don't connect with perfection. Matter of fact, when you try to do a full production on your video reels and all of that, you got the lights, cameras, microphones, they typically don't perform as well as just you pulling out your phone and starting to talk. So no excuses in that regard. But like I said, people don't connect with perfection. They connect with your humanity, your struggles, your missteps, right? Even like me fumbling over my words right now is clearly not AI. But that's where your power is. That's what makes you relatable. Being human, or being a human being, not a human stain. Okay, so number 5, focus on what you're delivering, not vanity metrics. Would you rather have 10,000 followers or $10,000 in your account? Would you rather have 100 people sign up for your webinar, or 10 paying people signing up for your webinar? The 100 people were free webinar, by the way. But the bottom line is this: likes don't equal legacy. It doesn't. Followers don't mean fruit. Shares don't mean success. Stop obsessing over numbers and focus on serving the people who are already watching. Because guess what? People are watching one way or another, whether you see it or not in the numbers. And sometimes those people can be the very people that change your lives. So don't get focused on the numbers. Focus on what you're delivering. And if you focus on serving people instead of serving yourself, you'll find that your brand begins to develop itself in itself. Okay. Number 4, sit still and figure out who you are. My God, I can't tell you how important it is to have the ability to just sit. There are days where I don't do anything. I just relax with my family, watch TV, read a book, and just absorb who I am. The essence of who God made me to be is very vital. And I do micro sessions of that every day. I will go outside and walk without my phone just to connect. I'll go grounding. I do all type of stuff so that I can reimagine who I am. It's okay to sit still. We're so busy. We always got to be fidgeting with something. Can't even eat dinner at the table without your phone in your face. Like, put the phone away, man. Sit down with your family and have a meal. Have a conversation about how their day was. Connect with people in your circle, even your friends and your extended family. Connect with them. Go see that auntie that you haven't seen in a while, right? Pick up the phone and call your brother. Call your mom. It's important to connect with people. The only way you know who you are is when you connect with the people around you. If you don't know who you are, the world will sell you an identity. oh, you got to be this kind of way. You got to walk like this. You got to talk like that. No, when those opportunities come and people are pushing you to be somebody other than who you are, you got to step up. But you're not going to step up if you don't practice it. You're not going to step up if you're not hanging around people that love you, that can push you in the right direction and say, hey, man, that ain't you, dog. You acting funny. I got some people that are in my corner that will call me out in a heartbeat if they know that I'm not being who I really am truly. All right, so sit down for a minute and ask, who am I really? What do I stand for? What would I do in life if there was no pressure to make money and pay bills? What am I too embarrassed to step into because I think my family is going to look at me kind of weird if I say, this is what I really want to do with my career? This is the direction I want to go with in my life. Until you answer those questions, you'll keep building things that feel fake, even to you. All right, number 3, invest in becoming, not just branding. What do you mean, Rod? Your business will never outgrow you. I'll repeat that because I know somebody didn't get that. Let me just repeat that. Your business will never outgrow you. If you are only focused on scaling your business and making more money, but you're not invested into building you up and growing you, then your business can only go so far. The more you build you up and work on you, the more your business can grow. There's a limited potential to a business based off of the founder, who they are, their character, their integrity, their ability to learn and their willingness to learn, their dedication to their craft. That's why the Elon Musk and the Jeff Bezos and the Bill Gates of the world are where they are. The Steve Jobs, rest his soul, before he became who he was already who he was. What do I mean by that? He was already studying and already focused and already wanting to be different and craft something that was amazing and change the world years before he actually did it. Okay, so building up who you are matters 15,000 times as much as building up your business. Matter of fact, you can probably scale your business faster the faster you build yourself. Because you can pay for a website and a logo, a photo shoot, and all this other stuff. You can get a videographer to come out and spend $18,000. But the one thing you cannot outsource is character. Period. You can't chat GPT character when that business meeting going on and the guy wants to hear directly from you and says, hey, well, tell me what you would do with this situation. You can't pull out your phone and go, oh, chat, give me 1 second. Let me see what chat is telling me to do. You got to be able to be yourself. And yourself is what's going to close that deal or not. So build yourself up and your brand will naturally rise with you. It'll allow you to actually define your brand. Okay, so let's get into the last 2 on this list. Okay, the 10 ways to build a brand that feels like you. Number 2, be consistent in the boring stuff. Yeah, I know. It's boring to sit and look at numbers and learn accounting so that you know how much money you made last month, so that you can forecast into the next quarter. It's boring to analyze Instagram reels to see how you could take certain pieces and apply it to what you do. Nobody wants to do that. Everybody wants to just scroll and laugh and share with their friends and their family. It's boring to put your phone down and go pick up a book. It's boring to sit still and spend time with God sometimes, because who really wants to just sit there and work on themselves all day? Not many people. But it's in the boring stuff that you're able to truly build. Like if you're tired of starting over and doing the same thing and then stopping and then doing this, if you're tired of that, stop quitting. The people who win aren't the most talented. They're the most consistent. And it's not about, when people say consistency, it's not about, oh, I did it Monday, I'm gonna do it Tuesday, I'm gonna do it Wednesday. That's a form of consistency. The type of consistency that I'm speaking about is being consistent in the things that feel really hard to do. the discipline areas, the areas where you don't have it all going on. It ain't lights and cameras. The reason I'm able to speak to you guys right here, right now, is because I put in the hours. I forget the book. I think it's Tipping Point, or I forget, but I know the author, Malcolm Gladwell. He talks about putting in 10,000 hours on a particular subject. And once you do that, you literally become a master of it. I don't know that I've put in 10,000 hours, but I feel like it over the last 15, 20 years that I have, primarily with marketing and serving customers. Because even when I was in corporate, I was in customer success. That was my only job. It was to focus on serving customers. And before that, I was in the technology support. So I was supporting customers. So I've been doing that for some time, right? But you have to keep showing up when nobody is clapping, when nobody is on the live, when nobody's liking your post. That's where the trust is built. Not just you being trusted by your clients and your viewers, but you trusting yourself that you could actually do this thing. All right. So build your brand by being consistent in the dark areas, the silent moments, behind the closed doors, when you pray, and when you're reading your Bible, when you're studying the business book, when you're having a conversation with that fan who you don't really care to talk to, but they are your fan. So you're like, you know what? I'm gonna pour into them because they're pouring into me. That's when growth happens. That's how you build a brand that feels like you. Okay, last one is absolutely the top tier piece that I see when it comes to people building a brand wrong, or building a brand that isn't really them. You have to let go of fear. You have to let go of fear. What are you fearing anyway? What is there to fear? It didn't come from God. Is it because of your environment growing up? Is it because of how you've been trained, how you trained yourself, how you programmed yourself? Is it because of the shows that you've watched? Is it because of society and all of the different things they say about beauty and intelligent people, and this is how you should talk in order? What are you fearing? What I fear more than rejection is regret. What I fear more than getting out here and failing is not getting out here and wondering if I would have won. You have to switch the framework of fear. Instead of fearing what might happen, because that's just another form of anxiety. That's what it means to be anxious. You're fearful for an undesirable outcome of the future. That's anxiety in a nutshell. Depression is being stuck in the past, right? Afraid that it will affect who you are going forward. So you're either looking backwards or you're looking too far ahead, and you're missing the gift that God gave us, which is the present. Did you catch that? The gift. That's why it's called the present. So you got to let go of fear. The best thing you can do is fail, because now you know what not to do. Now you know that didn't work. Let me go back to the drawing board. Everything you want is on the other side of being scared. Period. And don't be afraid to go through it. Like the adversities and the storms that come along with businesses and building a brand are a part of what makes your character. It is a part of the Lego set. You cannot finish a puzzle without the middle pieces. Okay, and those middle pieces sometimes come in the form of storms. That's just all it is to it. Fear doesn't leave you though. You just have to learn to move with it, right? It's like being in a car and not wanting to grab the wheel. Like, that's a part of it. Your brand doesn't need you to be fearless. It needs you to be faithful, courageous, bold. Fear is just a engine to get you there. So when it happens, when you feel that moment where it's like, I don't know how they're gonna look at me. I don't know what they're gonna say. I don't know how this is gonna come across. I don't know if when that moment happens, you have to shut it down and reframe it to say, you know what? I don't care what they say. I'm not gonna be concerned with how they think I look. Because guess what? More than likely it's in your head anyway. They're not even thinking about you like that. I forgot what I saw, but it was recent, and it was a person performing doing something, and they came off the stage and they were like, "Oh, I was so nervous." I didn't see one bit of nervousness. I just saw a great performance. And so that's my point to you. The perception that you give off is not necessarily what you have in your head. So get out of your own head, get out of your own way. If you felt this in any kind of way when it comes to like me talking about fear, just know that it's a process. It's not going to happen overnight. You probably need to connect with other people and figure out a way that y'all can work those things out together, because we can't do this alone. God said it's not good that man should be alone. So I'm gonna close this out by just talking about this last piece. When it comes to building a brand that you can be proud of, that you feel like is really you, um, it does not happen overnight. It's not going to happen in an instant when it comes to you deciding that you want to do it. You have to practice that thing, and you have to be held accountable and work with other people that are on the same journey as you so that you can get to that spot. All right. So that's what we actually do in my online community, Build Your Brand. I'm not finna sell you on it. I'm really at this point in my life where it's like the people that are wanting to grow their brand or their business will reach out and get what they need. It's only my job to make it available to you. So we connect in this community, we talk, we build. There is a free tier. So those people who are thinking like, I don't want to pay no money, he's trying to sell me something. No, I'm not. I promise you I'm not. I actually went down on the price of my community when I moved platforms a few months ago. I was charging more, and I was like, you know what? More people need this, so I'm gonna make it available. I didn't even have a free tier when I first launched the community. I started the free tier with this move over. So bottom line is, if you have a business, if you have a brand, if you're interested in growing it, you should absolutely join. The community is doing a challenge right now, as a matter of fact. It's called the No Days Off Challenge. And what we're doing is we're basically challenging each other to post and build something and work on their craft day in and day out as we reach the end of this month. So tonight is the last night to join and be a part of that. I am going to give away some grand prizes. The top prize is going to be up to $200 for whoever comes in first place. But outside of that, you can still just join the community and take part in it and learn to grow your business to be what it is you want it to be. So I hope this helps somebody. Like I said, these are the 10 ways to build a brand that feels like you. One thing I can say that I'm proud of, if it's nothing else, and I was thinking about it earlier today, is I'm doing exactly what I was put on this earth to do. And I'm not ashamed of any piece of it. I feel fulfilled day in and day out. I'm helping people to grow. And I know that vicariously, whether I'm watching them and living through their life, or by proximity, I'm going to be blessed by it, and I'm going to be able to grow my business and my brand in a way that 10 years from now, we'll be looking back at this very live going, man, he called that out. So look, I'm going to end on that. I got to go take my daughter to get something to eat. Probably going to get me a nice cool beverage to cool off from today. But yeah, rodbrinson.com. You can see it at the bottom of the screen, but go to /community if you want to be a part of this community. I would love to have you. Happy to help you guys grow your brand. And it's the brand strategist signing off. We'll see y'all next time. Peace.